This is the render of my model, of my pillar. This is the render of my telecom. This is the render of my torch. The render of my door. And as you can see in these as well, you can see the models originally with no texture on them. The shape, you can see I beveled this edge. I've moved the vertices and shapes out of here. I've extruded to get this box-like look. This is the one I used the make polygon tool on. I cut this little bit out, the grid bit out, and made it as a planar, and then added the texture on like that. I also create polygon toward the middle of this so it fit the door shape, the rectangular shape. I also animated this so the doors open and close in Unreal. Then moving on in our brief to task 4. So it says, as a 2D texture artist, it is your duty to create a photorealistic texture for your mapping into 3D objects using skills you have learned in the workshops. Must be completed the following. Use at least 2V mapping techniques to accurately lay out each of your models. I've done this, I will show you in a minute. Save the UVs for each of the correct resolution for the game engine efficiency. I've done this. The scales of the model should be either 512 by 512, 1024 by 1024, or 2048 by 2048. Using Photoshop and photography, an image multiplication technique, and design produce texture ready for mapping in the models. I've done this. Use the different software to produce a texture file for each of the following: diffuse map, normal map, specular map, and ambient occlusion map. I've done all of this as well. In Maya, create Arnold standard shadering and apply each of the textures above to the shader of the asset. Use Arnold rendering and 3-point lighting at least 3 high quality angles to upset angles as an asset. Produce at least one A3 design sheet that displays the following: UV mapping of each model, image photography using thumbnails and textures, mapping e.g. the diffuse, etc., and one final render of each model. So basically they're asking us to create a design sheet for each of our assets. So the things that I showed you the rendering on earlier is my design sheet, where I have, for my door here, I have my normal map. For the center here and the door, I have my diffuse maps by here, my specular maps by here that show the brightness and the shine of the metal. The normal maps give the texture, like the look of depth. So see if something's been engraved or something's got a dent, that's what the normal map does. And this normal diffuse look just gives it the actual texture itself. Then it also asked for all of them, so I got one for my pillar by here. This is my telecom one, my torch, and there's the ambient occlusion. I only needed it for this one. And as you can see, I got my specular, my fire, normal diffuse maps, and my normal map. I've also got my specular by here. As you can see from the shadow by here, I used 3-point lighting in Arnold rendering. And this is the last render I did. So then, moving on in our brief to number 5. This is the task that we are currently doing at the moment. It is to create a presentation on the tasks 1, 2, 3, and 4, and build a PowerPoint and perform the PowerPoint for everyone on the assets, how we built it, how well it went, and all the stuff that we had to do inside the project and assessment. So this is my Asset Pack blog. Thank you for watching.